I couldn't. You went in and out there, so I heard something about the Nets. My thought is that just generally about our team, where we are as we get ready for the Nets, is it's really hard to make the NBA playoffs. And I just told our guys in there, everybody's path is different, and every year presents unique challenges, sometimes more than others. And we've been through a lot, and so we're hardened in a lot of ways, right? We're, we've been backs against the wall most of the year. And to have to play tonight, to get into the playoffs, just to earn the right to play probably the most talented team that's been assembled since I've been in the NBA. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of togetherness, and it takes staying together through tougher times. We'll get ready for Brooklyn starting on Thursday when we get back together. We know that challenge is, and those guys are the best of the best. And, going into that, if I'm a fan, and just a general fan of the NBA, I have a hard time seeing them lose. So we're going to have to play great. We're going to have to play great together. And, we're going to have to be really, really sound on both ends of the floor.
Mark Murphy.
Hey, Brad, it seemed that you went up against a great pace team tonight with some terrific pace of your own. Can you just talk about how you guys moved the ball and just attacked?
Yeah, we got a little stagnant at times there in the second quarter when we lost that lead, and it went to 6 or 8 for them. But we stayed together again, and the run at the end of the first half was big. The run at the start of the third quarter was great. Again, like, we just haven't had those guys playing together much. My biggest fear coming into this game, Mark, was familiarity. We're playing against a super hot team that really moves the ball up in transition. But our Friday practice and our practice yesterday were probably the two best we've had all year. And largely because we had 16 guys, or 14 on Friday and 16 yesterday. So we need to get Rob healthy. He needs to get back. I was encouraged by the way that we played and the way that we got back for the most part. I mean, Ish Smith put us on skates, but he puts everybody on skates a few times. But I thought we did a pretty good job.
John Krause.
Yeah, Brad, was that a turf toe thing that Rob, did he aggravate that? And what's up with Marcus Smart's ankle?
Marcus twisted his ankle, came right back, played the rest of the game. So, he'll probably be sore tomorrow, but I have a weird feeling, John, that he'll be ready for practice Thursday, knowing Marcus. And then Rob hyperextended that toe, I guess. So he felt it pretty good. He tried to come back and play, just get treatment, and we'll see what happens. But not enjoyable.
Gary Washburn.
Hey, Brad. You needed this kind of game from Jayson. And what went through managing his minutes? I mean, he was keeping seated after all those long TV timeouts until the last possible second just to get rest. And what does it say about him to bring this kind of performance against, obviously, Beal, but a team that had been so hot, and he just seemed unstoppable?
Yeah, I mean, he's really good about the minutes in the playoffs in the last couple of years, Gary. We've gotten really used to trying to get him to sit right around those media timeouts that we know are coming, so that he can get as much rest as possible and sit for as long as possible and steal minutes that way. I was nervous at halftime because we had to use those 2 timeouts with guys down, because usually you try to also use them at the critical times in the third and fourth quarter to rest. Or get at least a blow and a drink of water. So he does a good job. He's smart about it, and he's going to play over 40 a lot. Let's put it that way.
Keith Smith.
Brad, what does it mean that young guys like Romeo Langford and Aaron D. Smith can can kind of hang in there all year, but then come in and make a big impact in a game like this?
Well, I think you saw both those guys had decent weekends. Romeo in particular was good against New York, but it's a lot easier to be good when you're surrounded by our best players. Like, it's just easier to play a role. And I thought Romeo played his role well tonight. I thought Aaron did some good things, but I thought Romeo was really good in that stretch. And, Romeo's big and long and can challenge shots and guard the best players. And so, it's why you keep throwing him in there, even as he's struggling and coming back from the injury and coming back from COVID all year. And we've said all year, our only chance was to get healthy at the right time. And we're not, because Jalen's obviously out. But if we can get Rob back and we can get a good week or a good couple days of prep, then again, it'll be a fun challenge to go up against the best.
Jared Weiss.
Obviously, Jayson had a great scoring night, but one of the big things was that he just was never really forcing the bad shots. Either could get to the line or make the right pass, whether it was a dump off or a kick out. I mean, just how vital has his evolution as a playmaker and just a good rim read player been for you guys?
Well, we did a better job spacing around him, and I thought he did a better job of reading a couple of those doubles and run ats. I mean, he was really aggressive early, but he missed a few on Lynn as he drove it deep. And I thought you could tell he was anxious to have a good night. It was really important to our guys to play well. Again, I give our guys a ton of credit. It has not always been roses, right? And they've had to answer a bunch of stuff, and it has been hard missing people all year. And our guys have just stayed with it, and they've just stuck together. And if they wouldn't have, you wouldn't have seen them play like they did tonight, right? There was a great kind of renewed sense of, okay, we have more guys, we have a lot of things that we can do, and let's play our best on both ends. We didn't quite do that, but we played a lot better than we played. And so I give our guys a ton of credit for that. And Jason's obviously the leader of it. I saw what he said earlier today. He's right on. He can lead by not saying a word. He can lead by example, and he can lead the way he did tonight.
Ryan Rob.
Hey, Brad, just following up on, that I think this was the first game you guys won all year where you shot under 40%, just to, the perseverance for you guys to win a game like that, where, shots aren't falling outside of Jayson. And then on top of that, just a second half ball movement. What do you think was the biggest difference for you guys in that to kind of, get the ball popping again?
It's funny, you guys are all talking about ball movement. I thought we got stagnant. So I hope we move it a little bit more than we did even tonight when we move on. And again, Rob's a big part of that. So we'll hopefully, get him healthy. But I think, that's obviously the way we need to play, is find a way to create space or play with the right spacing around our best players. And when they create an advantage, they just have to make the right read. They did do that in a lot of those side picks and a couple of the driving kicks, but we can still get a little bit better. But I thought the game was won on the defensive end for us. We were really locked in on what we needed to do. And Smart was terrific today defensively on both Westbrook and Beal. I thought everybody gave a good lift. I thought Tristan Thompson was excellent today. So we needed them all.
Final question for Coach Antoine Venturel.
Hi, Coach. Are there any plays in particular where you would like to involve Evan Fournier, since he's getting increased minutes and playing with the starters?
Yeah, I got to, I'm trying to get him as involved. We need to get him probably more shots generally. But, one thing I've learned about Evan is Evan doesn't care about that stuff. Evan came here he was excited to be traded here. He was bummed with the COVID. He was bummed with the after effects of COVID. And he just wants to play and win. And so we do need to find him more looks, and we need to play through him a little bit more. He had the nice pick and roll read there. Because not only is he capable of it, but it also doesn't, increase the burden on Kimba and Jayson to have to feel like they're doing it every time down the floor. So there's going to be opportunities where in the next in this series where you've got to have both Marcus handle it some and do some of that, and Evan handle it some and do some of that.